it's usually a pretty good thing.
Tom has certainly been a trailblazer in his career. There's no doubt about that. Keyshawn J. Will Zubin, presented by Progressive Insurance. All of our guests on the Goodyear Hotline this morning, including the front office insider Mike Tannenbaum and our dozen-year NFL quarterback Dan Orlovsky, who actually predicted these two teams would meet in Tampa before the season began, will go inside their minds to essentially see how they went from start to finish there in just a bit. I mentioned Tom the Trailblazer, Super Bowl 55, home stadium, as you probably heard a million times before, has never been done before. Tom Brady has spent half of his career essentially in the Super Bowl. Smaller sample size. Patrick Mahomes has essentially done the very same. Here we go, though this time it's not an AFC title game they'll square off in. It's the Super Bowl. Here's Mahomes on playing the GOAT on the biggest stage in sports.
Yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. Being able to go up against one of the greatest, if not the greatest quarterback of all time in his 150th Super Bowl, I mean, it's going to be a great experience for me. I mean, to go out there and have a chance to repeat and get to do it against the best, I mean, it's something special, and I'm excited for the opportunity.
Indeed. It only stands to reason that maybe one day we'll look up in 20 years and we'll say greatest quarterback of all time, and instead of Mahomes talking about Brady, it'll be somebody talking about Mahomes. Plenty of time to get there, but obviously both trending in the right direction. Brady showing no signs of age, and Mahomes coming into his own age, 25, 26 years old, with everything in front of him. It's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Okay, Key, Tom Brady's had some amazing accomplishments throughout his 21-year career, and we live in the world, I'll be the first to say it, this is Sports Talk Radio, the latest is the greatest. We don't remember something that happened 2 weeks ago, but at the end of the day is what happened yesterday. First year, new team, new conference, putting them on their back, snapping the NFL's second longest playoff drought, winning 3 games on the road and going to the Super Bowl. Even if they don't win number 55, is what he did yesterday the greatest accomplishment of all? No, I'm not going to shorten it up, Key, because this is one of the greatest players of all time, so I'm going to let it go, bro.
I would say, first of all, what caught my attention there, Zubin, was Patrick Mahomes kind of had to catch himself when he said the greatest quarterback. Then he had to say, wait, hold on. One of the greatest quarterbacks there, because I'm not done quite yet. Look, man, what can you say? I'm sitting here and I'm just kind of like, wow. Yesterday as time was ticking away and it was clear that Brady was going to the Super Bowl again, it's just like, damn. Like, enough already shared with somebody else. But, certain players in certain situations, no matter what you try and do, they just, for whatever reason, they got that it factor, that magic, that snack, crackle, pop that'll take you to the next level. And clearly, the beginning of the season, you talked about Dan Orlovsky, Zubin there, saying that the two teams were going to meet in the Super Bowl, and his prediction was certainly right. It's just, how can you go from 20 years in New England and everything you did for the New England Patriots and then just put on another jersey and wind up in the same situation that you were in before with the New England Patriots, which is another Super Bowl appearance? Like, how could you? It's like LeBron James. You could just take him, drop him with a team. Like, if you took Tom Brady and put him on the Detroit Lions right now, they might be in the damn NFC Championship game next year. I mean, it's crazy. You take Tom Brady and put him on the Jacksonville Jaguars, all of a sudden, they win the division. Hey, hats off to him. I mean, his career is amazing. That's all I can say.
Key, I'm sitting there watching the game last night in the second half, knowing that KC's going to win it, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, this is going to be like Michael Jordan, like when he's 42, 43 years old versus LeBron James in his prime in the Super Bowl. And then Tony Romo says it. And it's so true, right? You have the greatest quarterback of all time for now, while you have a quarterback that believes he's the greatest of all time. And in fact, the last time that I think Patrick Mahomes has lost a game by more than one possession, I think it was back in 2016, back when he was in college. And he's about back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. That's how talented he is. And look, Tom Brady, 3 picks. They won it off their defense. He came out strong in the first half. But I always feel like Tom Brady is at the right place at the right time. And the combination of the way Byron Leftwich and company picked on Kevin King, we will talk about that, the cornerback for Green Bay, the whole damn game pretty much, even down to the last possession where he got that PI that sealed the game for this team. It's just miraculous how this continues to work out for Tom Brady in his favor. It's incredible.
You know, Zubin, that conversation about the greatest of all time, right? It's clear you want to have that conversation if you're sitting around the table and you're watching ball or you're in the barbershop and you want to just get into a conversation with your friends at the barbershop. You can have that conversation because he's the winningest quarterback in the postseason that there is. When you look at it, you automatically equate that to the greatest of all time. I don't ever put him or nobody else as the greatest of all time because there's so many conversations you could have, you know, with Joe Montana, with John Elway, you know, Tom Brady. And to a point, we were just talking about Aaron Rodgers potentially being in that conversation if he went on and won another Super Bowl. That now has to wait at least another year. But we could start to have that serious conversation about a young Patrick Mahomes who is now embarking up on his second Super Bowl in back-to-back years. This hasn't happened since the New England Patriots did it a while back. Now you start to have that conversation. Think about it. If it wasn't for D Ford's toe, Zubin, on the line of scrimmage or foot or whatever they decided to call it, he may be on his third straight Super Bowl appearance. It may very well would have won 3 in a row. So it's kind of wild. It's so wild. So to look at him and know that Patrick Mahomes wins this Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you probably got another 5, 6 real shots at going back to back again.
There's no doubt about it. You're right. 3 straight could have been on the table if not for one call. Also, keep in mind that a lot of people have said over the years, you know, you got to be injury free. You got to be lucky. Well, let's be honest. Patrick Mahomes was banged up last year. They battled through it. He missed 4 games. He obviously was banged up in the last round of the playoffs. They battled through it. So this is a team that knows that even if their quarterback goes down with some sort of injury, everybody will tell you it's all about luck and staying healthy. This is a team that's weathered the injury situation and still come out on top. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. We're asking this morning, Key just weighed in, Jay just weighed in, is this Tom Brady's greatest accomplishment? We want to hear from you, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. We'll take some calls throughout the morning. We'll obviously check out your tweets as well at Key J and Z on Twitter. Again, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Is this Brady's greatest accomplishment? Line up the calls. We'll try to get to them, fellas. Just a few examples here on the Twitter poll. Guys weighing in. Luke, what is the greatest accomplishment of all time for TB12? Luke, quote, marrying a supermodel. Connor?
He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. He's going a little outside the box. Connor going back inside the box. 28-3, referencing the comeback against the Falcons, being down 25 in the Super Bowl. Jose said, and this is something we got into last week, fellas, the pain he's causing Patriots fans right now. And Gator looking ahead, saying hopefully still to come. I'm not sure what could top everything we've already seen.
What's today, Zubin? Today is Monday, right?
Monday, January 25th.
So we got about 2 weeks of New England Patriot, Tom Brady, overkill. That's getting ready to happen starting today. It's just going to be, the Patriots, it's all, the Patriots, if they would have, if Tom Brady, see, I told you about Tom Brady. Like, that's his most accomplished thing is the fact that he was able to do what he did in Boston, and now he's doing it in Tampa Bay.
But Key, I would say that his greatest accomplishment, I mean, granted, you can go back to that Falcons game, but I think if they can beat Patrick Mahomes at the way Patrick Mahomes is playing, that's a game that sets up for another legacy step for Tom Brady. If that could be one of the biggest accomplishments if they can actually pull off that feat.
He has so many accomplishments. The fact that he's still in the National Football League at the age that he's at.
43.
The fact that he has gone to 10 Super Bowls. The fact that he's gone to 14 championships. I mean, it's endless. Like, it's endless.
There's no doubt about it. It'll be 2 weeks of talk about Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, but the one underrated fact, it's not nearly as sexy or interesting. I think the Bucs defense is going to be what decides the Super Bowl. Can somebody finally stop Patrick Mahomes? And we saw how good the Bucs defense has been so far in the postseason. On the way, once again, we'll take your calls all morning. Hit us up, Brady's greatest accomplishment. Brady left New England. Of course, he still got to the Super Bowl. Is another future Hall of Famer about to follow suit too? We'll explain after Keyshawn has this.
When it comes to finding perfect flowers for your Valentine, it pays to plan ahead.